I think we're good. We're live anyway.
Oh, okay.
So, hi everybody.
Hey.
So we're going to be talking to you. You want to tell everybody what's going on while I get this going?
Well, Alba drove over an hour to come see me today, and we didn't know if we were going to do it until the last minute because her cat's been having some issues, and I'm on some new drugs. So, fate had it that we could get together today. She just did a sound healing on me, which was quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked every single one of the things for a different reason. I could feel it, and there's a lot of reverb, and Butters wants to always be there, and it was too much energy for him, so he was popping up and down, acting all spoiled.
So he kind of left, and I'm checking the comments to see if anybody's on. So if anybody's there, just give me a thumbs up so I can see, and just make a comment so that I could see if you're there, so we could read the comments.
He's hyper-focused.
There we go.
I love Miss Alba. We don't get much company.
Okay, all right, so we have folks online. Great, thank you for joining.
Hi.
So I've got the computer here. I'll be reading better because I can't see you all.
I can't see that at all. I am so blurry. I mean, my eyes are blurry.
Yeah, and let us know where you're listening from. We're doing this at a time where hopefully the people in Europe and maybe Africa are awake.
Wow.
And some of them are waking up in Australia and New Zealand. So
Good morning.
we got a lot of people here. So
we do.
Tell everybody what happened last week.
Okay.
And where we're
Well,
at today.
last week we had the infamous PET scan results. I mean, because it seems like they're either hitting me with chemo or radiation. It's like, man, try poisoning me. Too bad, because I just deal with it. So anyway, this last one, there was a lot of pressure on that one because that was going to determine whether I continued the infusions and the shots and the chemo ball and all that good stuff. So, well, it was normal again, and my levels, the cancer levels, I don't even like using that word, were normal, and that's normal according to a normal person, okay? And so, but they still saw something in the cecum, which I always have to look up anatomy.
Yeah.
But it's like a little corner there in between your large and smaller intestine, which the person, the doctor that did the colonoscopy was like, no, I covered that. But I think that's where everything stemmed from, is that little bitty corner. Well, anyway, it's all gone except that, and that's lighting up a little bit. So now I'm on these pills. And it's 6 pills a day, 3 in the morning and 3 at night. And that's for 14 days. And then I'm off for a week. And then we do labs, and we check my labs. Yeah. And we're going to do this for 3 more months. Here we go again.
Yeah.
And so I'm not able to take the bitter apricot seeds because,
That's cyanide.
That's cyanide. We
So that's
just
extra
don't want to
poison.
mix it. Yeah, that's a little bit too much for me. So, but I am keeping up with the Essiac tea and the castor oil wraps and the grounding sheet. And that's about the best I can do. I'm limited on taking vitamins. I'm taking about 500 milligrams of vitamin C a day and a vitamin D complex to keep the bleeding and bruising down.
Yeah, there's a lot of bruising.
Yeah, I mean, man, this dog will jump on me and I'll have a bruise that you wouldn't believe. It looks like I've been in a bar fight most days. It's just, and then it moves around your body. It's like, man, because I used to be able to just take hits left and right. Working in the yard, something hit me. I thought, I'll think about that later. And I would never really get bruised,
Yeah.
So, my body is going, I'm tired of this. But it's like, I'm also going to do fasting. Okay, now I've done a lot of studies about fasting and prayer, okay? And then there's a lot of studies about fasting and cancer. And then there's a lot of studies about fasting and the Christ oil that moves from your pineal and down your spine into your sacral region and back up, and it just really lights up your pineal gland, okay? There's a lot online. I mean, I went down a rabbit hole about that. But, I mean, it was just kind of told to me spiritually, okay, that I should do this fasting when the moon is in my astrological sign, okay? And that way, I can power up through the pineal gland and everything, and so it's going to be like a week fast where you do like soups and all that. You work down to it. You're not going to 3 heavy meals a day to nothing, okay? So, you're lightening up one day, the next day you're doing soups, and then the next day you're doing clear liquids for 3 days. And then you're back to soups, and then you're back to, regular meals, okay? But as it is right now, I'm doing little meals every few hours, just a little something just to keep the nausea away. So
Yeah, that's been the worst part, is the nausea, feeling woozy. So
sick as a dog. I mean, you feel like you got morning sickness, hangover, seasickness, mix it all together. You're like, oh boy, I'm green right now. But yeah, this healing that she did was really awesome. I feel a lot better. I mean, I'm still kind of a little nauseous, but right before I was like, oh, it's hitting me hard. So
yeah. So what I used was a singing bowl. I used a lot of different tuning forks for the chakras. We were doing that.
Yep.
And when I do that, I get a little nauseous myself.
You do?
Because I can feel the energy in the room
Yeah.
moving. And then I use the Tibetan bowls. I also use handheld singing bowls. I use drum.
The drum was cool. The drum was like, I mean, whoa, 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 I was like, man, I'm feeling it all the way down to my feet and back up to the top of my head. That was cool. It was.
Yeah.
And I kind of wondered, what are the neighbors thinking? We're in the inner sanctum of my house. My house is laid out real funny. It's a courtyard house. But, that is the quietest room. You can't hear storms in there. I mean, it's really, big brick, block around it and everything, and no windows. But when the drum was going, I was like, they could probably hear that.
It was loud. Yeah.
I was like, they're going to think we're in here doing some kind of rain dance or something,
Yeah. So I'm offering sound healing now on the days I don't do my hypnosis. And that's in my website under other services or frequencies or something. So that takes up like a whole day of setup. So
it was a lot, yeah.
Yeah. I
And
with,
she
I kind of
came
moved
with
in.
She's bringing all this stuff in, because I said at the last minute, I was like, hey, I had these chairs that I ordered, these little plastic, lawn chair kind of things. And I said, and they came in, and if I put them in my car, as wobbly as I am, I might mess up, and I'm not supposed to drive anyway. So we had to clear all her. She just moved all kinds of equipment. I was like,
my whole trunk was full of stuff for her sound healing.
I was like, oh, God bless her. Who's bringing half her house over here? Make me feel better.
That's right.
And get my chairs, my little cheapy chairs.
That's right. So you're getting a lot of messages here,
Okay.
Sabrina, from a lot of people. Stay strong. There's
I'm going to grab these glasses. They're not real good.
She's going to read some of these things.
Here.
You've got a lot of folks just saying hello, loving kisses.
Oh, a lot of thumbs ups and hearts.
Love the haircut.
Yeah, it's getting into the 20s vibe, isn't it? Like.
Yeah, I don't think you're real happy, but
I'm not. I'm just, and then they're saying, oh, you're going to lose more hair. I was like, I don't have much more to lose, man.
Yeah.
It's too hot for wigs. I wear a hat here and there, but it's too hot for those too.
So there's a lot of people just sending healing energy.
From Greece. Check it out. Zampara. What is that, Luana?
Ioana from Greece.
Yeah.
Where's everybody else from? Let's see. Diana Ortiz says you look great. There's something in Arabic.
Yeah, that's Arabic. I always wanted to study that. When I was at the Presidio, I thought Arabic was. I was at the Presidio of Monterey. It's a Defense Language Institute, and when I was there, I wanted to study Arabic so bad because it was just beautifully written and it just sounded so. I loved it. I thought it was really pretty.
Do you know that I started learning Arabic?
Let's learn Arabic and just talk like in code. You're like, hey, and say something in Arabic.
This was like 2000. maybe 9 or
Yeah.
something like that. 2008, 2009.
Wow.
I got one of those programs that, and I started learning some Arabic.
I'll study
can't
with you. Let's do
I
it.
can't remember any of it, but
Well, that's what I'm saying. Let's get started on it. Let's
but
do it because I've always wanted to study Arabic.
and then we have some. Charmaine says, I would also like to get a hypnosis done. Do you do it online?
Yeah, all the time.
If you look at my channel, you're going to see there's a lot of online sessions. And my next newsletter goes out on September 14th, and that will only be like maybe 4 online sessions for the month, because I'm going to be going to the Netherlands again in October, and that's going to be for a workshop, Encounter with Your Soul workshop with Antonio Sangio and the introspective hypnosis class. So I'll be gone for most of October and doing that. So
It's
you
around
guys-
your birthday.
so if anybody's looking to, if you're in Europe or even if you're here in the US and you're looking to study, it's a beautiful place. And Sabrina took the class.
Mhm.
So
Sure did. I'm going to take a class coming up in October at Arthur Findlay College. I'm going into, this one chick wanted to mentor me when I was studying mediumship. I mean, studying it anyway. They were putting us in a little class off to the side, you know. We're
On
all
Zoom.
psychic anyway, on Zoom, right?
on Zoom.
So
Yep.
one girl goes, who's the one with the haunted house? I was like, that would be me. I got spirits bouncing around all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she wanted to mentor me, and she told me I needed to go into the trance mediumship. And I said, well, okay, I'll check that out. So I'm going to do a class in October.
We've got somebody from South Africa.
All
from
right, here's Egypt.
from
Woo.
Ireland, from Jordan, Romania,
Romania.
Germany.
Multimask.
We have Arizona,
Alice.
Ohio,
Germany.
Central Florida, Orange City, right down the
I don't know
street,
where that is.
and Sabrina
Wow, just all
looking
over the place.
fab. Yeah. So we haven't been able to get
fab,
together
darling.
because of all of her chemo and all of these things that have been happening.
Man.
It's
I've been just flopping around trying, just going, okay, I'm going to live through this. Basically, it's like,
and
so,
you know,
watch a lot of YouTube.
we've been wanting to do this for a while, but we wanted to give you some good news. And even though it's really not the end yet, but a lot has been accomplished, and the prayers have helped.
They sure have. I believe in prayer. I mean, my doctor and I had an understanding after a while, because at first she was a little hardcore, you know, and we had a little breakthrough. I had a little psychic moment where I kind of guessed what was going on at home with her, and she just kind of, then she started crying, so I'm like, breakthrough. so now we're all smiles with each other, and she treats me more like with respect and as a colleague more than, you know,
Patient.
a number. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And
yeah.
I asked her, I said, I know I've befuddled you. And she goes, befuddled? I've been befuddled since the beginning, you know? And I was like, well, you know, I know you don't see too many like me. And she goes, I have never seen anybody like you. And I said, well, it's a miracle. It's called a miracle walking.
Yeah.
That's what I am. And I said, when I first talked to you, I wasn't quite sure about whether I wanted to work with you or not. And then you ended up with your little pitch, you know, saying, and then there's God. And when you said that, I was like, okay, I'm going to give her a shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have a good understanding now. And she goes, you know, because at first they were talking about surgery, debulking. I was like, the hell?
Yeah.
And so that's out of the question now. And she was talking about the possible more chemo or whatever, but I'm doing these chemo pills, and it's supposed to be a lower dosage from the ball that I was having to wear home. So thank you, Jesus, because
Yeah.
I don't have to do the infusions, the 6.5 hour infusions every 2 weeks. I don't have to do that ball. I don't have to give myself shots, which I was really lousy at. Oh my God. That was the worst, giving myself shots in the stomach going, oh, you know. So all that's over. So I'm taking these pills. So that's, you know, we're moving ahead on this because we want to make sure it does not come back. But, you know,
Yeah.
I'm doing...
And all of you had something to do with
Every
it.
single one of y'all that said a prayer or sent a kind thought my
Yep.
way, it worked.
Yeah.
Okay? And
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying about that. It worked because I mean, first they were calling me the mystery patient, then they started calling me the unicorn, and then they were like, dare I say it, this is the miracle department, and now they're all, she's a miracle. She's a miracle walking.
Yeah.
And that's what I am. I'm a sign and a wonder, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I've believed that since the very beginning. And I've known that every person, I mean, every night, I'm laying there going, thank you for all the prayers. I'm just absorbing all the love from you guys. I am so amazed and delighted and humbled and honored that y'all would send this kind of love my way. You know, I haven't even met y'all. I mean, but I feel like I've got this huge family. I've got this great support. We're all on the same page about stuff, which, you know, all my life I was being told, shut up, don't talk about that. You're weird. You're freaking people out. You know, don't. And I mean, once I took Alba's class, I was like, that's it. I came out. It's like, and then when we went to Peru, here's Tabash going, admit it, stand up and admit it. You see auras. And I was like, oh my God, he's making me say that in public. But, you know, yeah, I do. I see auras. I talk to dead people and all kinds of weird stuff. Yeah, I do that. But you know what? Y'all do too. So it's like, you're not alone, man. We've all found our tribe, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, people, they'll say, oh, I'm so sorry you're going through this. And I go, I'm not. Because it was meant to be. Yeah. And the reason it was meant to be was to bring us all together in the light. And it's brought people to the Christ consciousness and to God and to prayer. And, you know, if I have to go through what I've been going through, I mean, I might state facts about how terrible it is, but I'm not whining, okay? Because I know this is part of my mission. I'll say stuff to Alba and she'll go, it's all part of the plan. And I'm like, yeah, it's all like a divine, you know, tapestry being woven.
Our first hypnosis session in the hospital, it was what, 5 minutes, 7 minutes?
7 minutes. And it was the most profound one.
And that's on my channel. And you will see that Jesus specifically told her this is her journey.
Yeah, this is my mission. This is why I came back. Yeah. Okay.
And one of the things that happened to me in Ireland, which was really interesting, is if you guys are watching out there, in Ireland, one of my clients told me that I had to go see a shaman that he went to, and he took me out there, and he said that he could do remote healing. He was like a miracle. The guy just did healings. And so I went out there, and with the understanding that, hey, maybe I could ask for some healing for Sabrina.
Is that the one where you went with the other two people and y'all were calling me? I was like, these people are trekking around.
Yeah, we're trekking around Ireland.
To a shaman. I mean, you can't make this up.
And I asked him about Sabrina, and he said to me, that's her journey. Like he wasn't going to touch it. He knew that she had to do it. She had to do it. That
I have to go through this.
Yeah.
Because I need to go through it to come out the other side so I could testify. And Alba's made me start writing down all the times that I was spared by God. The times I should have died. And the list is getting longer and longer. Once I started writing, I was like, oh, and there's that other thing. How did I forget about that? I should have died, you know. Other people be freaking out about that one thing. And then it got over 25 different instances. And I was close to 30 because I'll be in the middle of the night. I'll go, oh, hey, yeah, remember when you were on that bridge and a tugboat knocked it out and just missed the back of the car and you went into a spin? You know, it's like, what?
So
how did I forget that?
In the future, we're going to be sharing some of that information. Not yet, but in the future, we'll be doing that. There's a lot more people that are coming. They're all over the place. Let me see. We have...
Boulder, Colorado.
We have... we finished here. We have... Gainesville. We have Croatia, UK, Colorado.
Beautiful people in Croatia.
Dynamic duo. Howdy from Texas. I don't know what that means, but
what sounds?
Om Mani Padme Hum. I don't
know. That's
is that
Buddhist.
A Buddhist, okay.
Buddhist. That's what you say when you're doing your mantra.
Okay, thank you very
Buddhism.
much.
Yep.
Still sending prayers. Tracy, thank you. Open, closed. I don't know what that means.
Open closet?
Open closet. Oh, open closet. Yay, open closet.
What does that mean?
I guess that means you came out of the closet. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I get this from almost everybody that comes to see me that is still in the closet about their spiritual awakening, and you're gonna have to come out. You're gonna have to make a decision
Hey,
real
it's
fast.
the times, man. It is time, okay?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I held on. I kept it real close to my heart, and only specific. And then I'd do something, and it'd freak me out. You know, I'd do like when I read what's his name's Michael Jordan's poem. That was, and I was like, I'm not doing that anymore. You know, because that was too freaky.
Michael Jordan?
Yeah, I read his poem. It's magical. He has a perfect poem. Of course, he's got a hand like this. It's like
easy to
it's
read.
like it unfurled in front of me. I was like, Lordy, I got big hands, but I'm holding it. It looks like little baby hands, like that girl on SNL. Hold this giant hand, and his lines were just almost drawn on. You know,
Amazing.
everything. It was like picture perfect. Okay, and then all of a sudden. I looked at his face, and it's like his eyes turned into a blue sky with clouds. And I was like, am I seeing that? And then all of a sudden information started coming through. So it wasn't his palm. It was, spirit,
Yeah.
And it was saying, I told him, I said, I don't know anything about your life. I don't know if you're married or if you have kids, but I'm hearing that you should have a third child. And I didn't know what that meant. Well, then he gets on this talk show a few months down the road, and he said he was talking to somebody that was reading his palm, and him and his wife were on the fence about having a third kid. And she said, you need to have a third kid. And he went home and told his wife, and she's like, what? And they had just had this third kid, and they were just super happy, and that was, where they were going to call it quits. But, I also told him, if you're playing anything other than basketball, it should be golf. I think that's right when he was going into the foray and into baseball or whatever, people told me that later. I didn't know what it was, I was like, I don't know what's going on with him. I just know he can defy the laws of physics to get a ball in a net, that was all I kind of knew about him. But anyway, so, yeah, that kind of freaked me out. And, every once in a while I'd let it go and I'd just do it, and then I'd recoil because I go, oh, that's just too much responsibility. That's too much power or something.
I've been telling her she's got to come out of the closet about this. She's got gifts, amazing gifts, and she will be doing it.
Yes.
In the future.
Now I got my support group, y'all.
Yeah.
Now I got y'all. Everybody's like, well, if you can do it, I can do it. And I was like, sure, I'll.
Absolutely.
Because I've been holding back for
ever.
For like 50-something years, since I was 8 years old. So.
Yeah. So we have a few more people in Bronx, New York.
Bronx. That's where Tanya's from, isn't it?
I lived in the Bronx for about a few months.
Denver.
Denver. I shine my woman light. I hope to meet you both one day. Hopefully we're going to be on the road someday. Jillian Summers. Denver, Colorado. We'll be here to listen to what comes through. Yeah, there's a lot in the future. We've got to get through this.
Yeah, because, I'm not worth much right now. I mean, really, I have a lot of personal messages coming to me. I had a lot of activity when I first got off of the infusions, and they told me I wasn't going to have those anymore. And I rang the bell, and I got my certificate and everything, and the whole infusion clinic. They were the best nurses. They were the best. Okay, and I know they're going to miss my cupcakes, but
every time she would go for chemo, she would make these amazing cupcakes and take them to all the nurses there, and she actually made a book, a recipe book for them on the last day. So,
and I told them a little something about how I appreciated them and what all they did, and little special gifts that I knew each one of them had, and a few of them cried, and I was like, okay, job well done. But I'd pop in and see them when I go over there, but anyway, so once I rang the bell and they all cheered for me and everything, and I knew that I was over that part. I was like, oh, hallelujah, man. And I went home and I kind of collapsed for a few days. It was almost like waiting to exhale, that expression. It's like, I was holding my breath for so long, and then once that PET scan was out of the way, I collapsed a little bit more after that because I was like, oh God. And then I was a little bummed about having to go through some more crap, but it's all part of the
journey.
plan. It's all part of the plan.
Yeah.
So, lately it's a good thing I'm alone. I got Butters to keep me entertained and busy, but, being still and being alone, I'm getting a lot of messages about myself. I saw Netherlands in there.
Netherlands, yeah.
It's like, oh, look, a squirrel. So, Lincolnshire, UK.
Says Della Rosa says, I've been trying to connect with you sometime. Can you visit Barbados?
Barbados, baby.
I saw showing you in one of my dreams. Believe we should meet. Yeah. I only go to places where I know there's going to be a few people there, a lot of people there. So right now I don't have any plans to go anywhere except to the Netherlands because I'm just right now just relaxing.
Yeah.
Relaxing. Every time I take a trip, it takes a real toll on me.
Yeah.
Sabrina and I have talked about it a lot. It seems like I'm just going around the world, kind of like doing something with the energy there. I don't.
She's planting seeds.
Somehow.
She's getting the fires burning. It's like, that's literally her job, is to build a light army. And she is recruiting. She's going to each of these places and she's building a light army and it's spreading. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's her job, but it takes a big toll on her.
It takes a big toll. It takes me weeks to recover from a trip. It's not something that I plan. It's not like I go out there partying every night or anything, but the energy. First of all, when I do a session, I just exert a lot of energy. I don't know how, but when I'm done, I'm wiped out.
Yeah.
I'm wiped out. And when I go on trips, it's the same thing. Especially with when I'm being with people. The last trip I took was to Quebec, and that
she got into Canada, y'all. Because we had this one thing, and she's like, "I can't go to Canada." I was banned. I said, "You're banned from all of Canada? How the hell did you do that?"
that was a long story. I tried to get into Canada in 2016, and I was pretty naive about travel. And they asked me what I was doing there, and I said, "I'm doing hypnosis sessions. Where's your work permit?" And they put me in the room, and they deported me and said that was going to be on my record, and anytime I tried getting back to Canada, it was going to be, not easy. So
in other words, don't come out in Canada.
Yeah. So they told me there's other hypnotists here. You that's not a good excuse. So this time I really wanted to go back because you could read it on my Facebook page, but I wanted to go back because I had been to Quebec to Saint Anne de Beaupré. I think that's it. Okay. She is the grandmother of Jesus. She's Mother Mary's mother, and she does a lot of miracles. And my family went there in 1965, and I had a few days off. I think it was in July. And I looked at the picture and it said July 19th. And I went, oh my God, I have off that day. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm just going to pack a really light suitcase just for a couple of days, a few days. And I'm going to see what happens when I get to the border. Go to the room. So they immediately sent me to the interrogation room and interrogated me for a long while.
But they did not arrest her.
Did not arrest me. Did not keep me from coming in. So I told them exactly what I was doing. I even pulled out my picture when I was, little kid. And I said, I'm going to the same place to recreate this photo. And he seemed to be happy with my answers to all of his questions. And he said to me, anytime you try coming back, it's going to be the same thing. It's always on your record. So if I ever go to Canada again, it would be for holiday, for vacation, for just stuff. I'm
I
not.
was glad she did it. She was so happy.
Yeah, it was really
She
nice.
needed just a non-working, because if she goes anywhere, she's working.
Yeah.
I'm like, Alba, when have you just gone to relax? You know.
It's true. Every
and
time
enjoy
I'm
yourself.
going, I'm working. I'm doing stuff, and it just takes a lot out of me. But the one to Quebec was very.
It was invigorating. You came back,
Yeah.
like people should from a vacation. You know, rested and
Yeah.
inspired. And
Yeah. But usually when I go on any trips, I'm doing something. Either I pull out my tuning forks, and I've always got my equipment with me. I'm always doing something, work like intense. So this one was just to visit. So for those of you who are in Canada, I will not be going to Canada to do sessions, okay? No.
Because there's other hypnotists in Canada.
There's other hypnotists in Canada.
I didn't know who they were talking to, did they? It's like, what?
I that's something I'm going to honor. I'd love to take a train trip up to Canada. I'd love to do a lot of things in Canada, but not sessions. So we've got other people here. Edmonton, Alberta, Canada is here.
Oh.
Love your haircut, Sabrina.
Can't believe they like my haircut. Thank you.
Still waiting on Alaska.
Thank you, but I'm telling you, I get in the car and I'm like, or if I wake up, there was a fairy in one of the Peter Pan movies. I think it was one with
Tinkerbell?
Yeah, Tinkerbell. And she was like, a fairy's heart is fierce and free or whatever. And she had a little fuzzy hair like what I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fierce and free, all right. Yeah. It's coming back.
Yeah, Anna says, I guess Canada will have to come to Alba. Yep.
Yeah.
And you don't have to come see me. Everything, I do things online. So
Yeah.
it's not like you have to come. It looks sophisticated.
Thank you so much.
Women in hair, it's a big deal. We talk about this all the time. When my hair looks terrible, oh my God. The other day it was really funny because I've been using like lavender oil, some sort of weird oil that I got in the health food store.
It looks good. It's pretty.
Well, there's nothing on it right now, but when I put the oil on, my hair is like flat, and I've never had flat hair. Yeah. And I did a Zoom session the other day. I'm looking at myself in the camera, going like, "Oh my God, that looks terrible. My hair looks terrible." But oh well.
You have hair, okay? So
yeah. So
I can see my scalp
I'm very
most
appreciative.
times.
Yeah. My hair has come back.
Yeah.
We are kids of the 80s. We are kids of the 80s.
That's right.
Well,
I'm a kid of the 70s.
70s. We're the kids of the 70s.
In the 60s, we were dangerous. We were idiots, I tell you. We were locked out all day long, and we were basically toddlers running around,
Oh, she says with big hair.
Big hair, the 80s, yes.
Yeah.
I did. Hey, as a matter of fact, I found glamour shots of me. I'm getting it. I know right where it is. I found it the other day, and I was like, oh my God, look at this. That's terrible.
I actually took a picture. I'll have to show you, Sabrina.
Oh my God, you gotta see this.
Because somebody was talking about Hurricane Andrew. Today is the anniversary of Hurricane Andrew, and I had gotten a perm, so my hair was like curly and it was really long. So this is
where's my glamour shot?
Her glamour shot.
It's got some gloss on it. You see that?
Okay, comments on that one. What do you think?
I look so serious.
I know. Well, you were a model.
I was like 20. What was I? I was like late 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my old nose, y'all. I broke that nose 5 times. Okay, so I had to go get surgery because I couldn't breathe out of the thing anymore. But, it still looked okay.
You look beautiful, yeah.
I'd take it. I'd take that today anytime, man. But I couldn't believe I found that. Just
your old nose.
Yeah.
We're not Gen Xers. We are boomers.
Yeah.
So we're in a different category. As I always watch those things with Gen X and the millennials and stuff. And I definitely fit in the
your old nose.
And Charmaine says absolutely stunning.
Oh.
Thank you for that.
They did your hair and makeup and everything there. I even had the kids done. It's like
if you're too young to know about glamour shots, it was They used to have them in all the malls.
Oh,
and
yeah,
things
yeah.
like that.
You could
And-
go in there after working in the yard or something.
And they would put makeup on you. They would
They
do
do
your
your
hair.
hair.
They put different outfits
Yeah.
on you, and you would always look like,
Yeah,
you
like
know,
the superstar.
the superstar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
glamour.
Mine, when I had mine, I was actually blonde.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah. So
I can imagine that.
I went through a blonde stage, not because I wanted to. So
Well,
yeah.
you just woke up and accidentally.
No. They had to do with what other people wanted me to look like. So
Oh well.
yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not that person anymore.
No. So anything else you want to tell the folks, or anybody have any questions for us before we wrap up?
Blonde
bomb.
That's what I was. I wasn't a bombshell. I was a bomb. I
I
was
can't
like,
even imagine.
I was
blonde.
leaving a wake of destruction everywhere.
She's I can't even imagine blonde one.
No.
No. And you know, every month when I have to get my hair colored, I always think, should I go gray? And it's like my hairdresser goes,
No.
no, don't go gray.
I didn't get my hair. To get my hair to grow, I'll get it trimmed every full moon. And my hairdresser, Kevin, the last time I went in, he was crying. He cried. And I said, I'm not going to make him cry. I'm not going to go back up there and make him snip off a couple of little wispy hairs and cry. You know, I was like, it's going to be fine.
She says, love this shirt too.
Oh,
What do you have on your shirt?
This is from Scarlett O'Hara's in, where is it? St. Augustine. Let me tell you, this restaurant, they had the best fried chicken I have ever. I mean, their food was insane. It's all done like scarlet and red paintings and stuff.
From Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that place.
Yeah.
But they got really good food.
So we're going to wrap it up. It's been over half an hour. So we just wanted to check in on with you and let you know what was happening. Are you painting again? No, she's not painting yet. No. I've
been doing a little, well, little creative stuff here and there. Well, just making lists of almost dying and recipes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, well, my big creativity was actually making those cupcakes for the last few months because I was coming up with some designer cupcakes there.
It says, when will you be doing another hypnosis session on Sabrina? Yeah, I don't know.
Whenever we feel like it.
Yeah.
Whenever we feel like it's.
Yeah.
I mean, the sound thing was wonderful.
Today I was focused on working that healing in for the cecum and getting that moving.
Yeah.
We'll do a session another day.
Yeah.
Yeah, before I leave for the Netherlands, we'll do another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. But
then again, and I did get some mail from a few people.
Hmm.
I've still got those little.
Do you want to give them your address again?
Yes. I have to
pull out one of their cards if you
it's
know
in
where
my
it is.
room. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, if you all want to send something to Sabrina, she's going to give you her P.O. box. And, we still have the GoFundMe for Sabrina open. I'm going to attach it to the description of this video once I'm done with it. There's been a lot of expenses for her for this medical issues, and she's had to put out a lot of money for all of the things that have been going on. So I'm going to give you a link to the GoFundMe. I don't have it here right now. Valerie says, I always look forward to Fridays, take a long walk and listen. Yeah, my sessions are basically just to listen. All right.
Okay, let's see. My P.O. box.
Let's put it up so you could
So
you can
screenshot.
So you can screenshot.
Oh, but you're getting
oh wait,
address.
it's backwards. It's backwards.
It's backwards. Okay, well,
yes.
what you just said.
Yeah, P.O. Box 668, and that's in Oakland, Florida. The zip code is 34760. It's not backwards. Jackie said it's not backwards. Is it not?
Well, it's got somebody's address at the corner,
Take a
so
look
y'all
and
ignore
see.
that. Don't resend to that person any mail.
Okay.
But
I thought it was backwards. I see it backwards here. So you got a screenshot of that, and just send
And I
Sabrina
got
some cards.
Yeah, I got some cards from, was it Wendy Paula?
Wendy Paula, yeah. Wendy wanted to know what your favorite song was.
Golly, that's ridiculous. I mean, I got a gazillion favorite songs.
I gave her one.
What? Oh, you gave her one?
I gave her
yours?
one. You know, there's a lot of favorite songs depending on your mood. But
Yeah.
one of my favorite songs, and you guys are going to have to look it up. It's the song was originally by Donna Summer, but the one that I like is not by Donna Summer. It's by the Blue Man Group.
Oh, I love the Blue Man Group.
Blue
One
Man-
of them used to live down the street.
So the Blue Man Group actually has one with Venus Hum, and the video is actually 7 minutes and 43 seconds, I believe. And so if you look up,
Venus, huh?
yeah.
Okay.
I feel love.
Oh yeah, that was a long one.
I feel love by.
If you were
Donna
dancing with
Summer.
somebody to that song, you better like them because you.
So I have played that song all over the world when I'm ready to get pumped to do a session. I'm like the opposite of most people. A lot of people think that I need to get into a Zen mode. I get like pumped up, kind of like Tony Robbins gets.
Yeah.
I get like that before a session. So I'm usually pumped up before a session, not relaxed, which is the opposite of what we teach people in hypnosis. Right. But it says, Alba, will you go back to Machu Picchu? I don't have any plans, but if you want to go to Machu Picchu, Antonio Sanjo has yearly tours to Lima, to Cusco, and he's got that. So look up AntonioSanjo.com and look for his tours there. I remember that disco era. Yeah, that was wild.
So, thank you, Kathy, for telling me to be will. I will, okay? As you said, if you insist, I will.
Yeah.
So, also, I wanted to point out that Stefan First sent me a beautiful card, Wendy Pella, and then there was a Stephen Smith, I believe his name was. And all of them were fantastic. And I haven't checked my P.O. box since. I mean, a lot of the stuff I'm taking up.
No, that's the one that I had.
Oh, this was Jill Gibbs. I think she's the one that sent me the feather. That was awesome.
Jackie asked, someone asked if being in hypnosis would interfere with her claustrophobic disorder. No, we would work on it.
Exactly.
I don't know if I told this story before. I tell it to my clients. I had a man come in for a session, and he told me that he did a lot of traveling in the airplane for business. And all of a sudden one day he just started getting really claustrophobic and couldn't stand being in the airplane. He would actually start like getting panic attacks. He liked sitting by the window seat, and he just couldn't. He would have panic attacks now going on an airplane. So I asked him, when did he first notice that something happened? He goes, well, there was this really big guy who sat in the middle seat, and ever since that day he freaks out about going on an airplane. So in his hypnosis session, he was a little girl who lived out in the prairies of the U.S., and all of a sudden she heard a gunshot. Wow.
What was that?
Good timing. There's the gunshot. She heard the gunshot.
That just fell off of that over there. That is crazy. It just, okay.
It's your friends here. So she was picking flowers in the meadow, and all of a sudden heard a gunshot and was trampled by buffalo. So when I went in further, it was her father was standing on the top of the hill, and when he saw his daughter picking flowers in the prairie, he saw a whole herd of buffalo, and he shot the gun to make them run away, but they ran towards her instead.
Man.
So once he realized that, he understood what was going on, and we disconnected him from that. So yes, claustrophobia could be anything. It could be something like that. It could be a lot of people were buried alive. A lot of people died in avalanches and things like that. Some people Yeah, some people for punishment were buried behind walls, things like that. So claustrophobia could be anything, and something in this life would trigger the beginning of that claustrophobic feeling. So it's not going to interfere with hypnosis. Hypnosis will actually help. Is the gray hair a transgender? What does that mean?
I have no idea. I hope they're joking. 'Cause,
Gray hair usually means you're getting older.
yeah, it
Okay.
has nothing to do with your gender.
It has nothing to do with it. There's old people with men and women with gray hair. So anyway,
Can't go in elevators. I've been stuck in an elevator twice.
yeah.
Okay. Once I was pregnant and I started acting like I was having like contractions and
Oh my
picked
God.
up. I couldn't help it.
So yeah, someone who is claustrophobic should have a hypnosis session to find the origin of it, because once you realize what happened, you could disconnect from that. And phobia about water, yeah, there's a lot of
Yes.
phobias about water. A lot of
Yep.
people have drowned.
I drowned in a former life.
I drowned in a former life, my last one, as a pilot. I was
That's right.
I was a pilot in the Army, actually.
Yeah.
When Army had airplanes in World War II, so I was shot down and drowned. Phobia about snakes, yep.
Yep.
Definitely, there's people who
Look at this.
and
They're all going to be
fire.
listing their phobias. Like, what about mine? What about mine? What about yes? Okay, yes.
Yes, yes, and yes. All of these phobias are things that people have, and it all stems from a past life in which, or it could be in this life. There's one that Antonio uses where the girl was terrified of worms, and it was because her mother punished her, and it had to do with worms, how she punished her. So, yeah, a lot of stuff happens in this life that you don't remember.
Seriously.
Yeah. Someone says, what if I consider myself hard to fall asleep? Would this have an effect on the process?
Layered intelligence forming energy. I've never heard of that.
Hypnosis is not sleep. I want you wide awake while you're in hypnosis. So, no. Usually when it's hard to fall asleep, it's the person has a lot of stuff going on in their mind.
Mhm.
You're not, I always think of little kids when they have too much energy. You usually need to exercise to get that energy out of your system.
Right.
Another thing you could do is get a grounding sheet. A grounding sheet is excellent. I use one, Sabrina. Ever
Yeah.
since I started using a grounding sheet, I don't have any more aches and pains like I did before.
Oh, me neither. I'm telling you, because
Yeah.
I've taken a lot of hits in my day, and man, I could wake up and I sound like, snap, crackle, pop here,
Yeah.
But since I started using the grounding sheet, I mean, if I've got it in the laundry and just don't feel like washing it and leave it off for a couple days, I'm feeling it. I'm
Pain,
like, oh, I gotta
yeah.
put that back on there.
So the ground well is where I got mine from, and that's the company. And there's actually
I'm sorry.
what's that? A grounding mat for when you're on the computer.
I mean, a phobia of bagpipes and Shriners. Oh my God. That would suck.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because when you're not thinking about it, they're just everywhere. Oh my God, that's terrible. I'm sorry.
Must get 14. My wife, and see if it helps. I must get 14.
Mm.
1 for my wife.
Oh.
I can't read that
Come
stuff.
on,
I'm
people.
sorry. We're boomers. We don't read that stuff like that.
It's like 14 what?
Yeah, I must get 14.
14 sheets? What's he doing?
That's what I thought.
Overkill.
Don't write to us like that. We don't read like that. Is it possible to have a session if one is dealing with acute depression? Yes. And having problems to focus? Of course, everything is possible.
Yeah. It's all inside you.
Is it better until one feels better to have a session? No. When you come to a session, I want you with your symptoms. I want you feeling it. Because, did you watch Sabrina's last session where we did in LA? In LA, she was feeling pain on her chest.
Oh my God, I was dying.
And she wanted to come out of the
I was
session.
like, Alba, no, I need to get out of this. This is bad. I mean, because not only that, but I was seeing people dying all around me.
Yeah.
It was total chaos and destruction and death. And I was like, no, count me out of here, and And she's like, oh, nay.
No, no, that's how I want you. I want
No.
you in a panic. I want you in anxiety. I
And
want
everybody in the room's biting their nails. You know, I watched it. I was like, no.
Yeah, that's how I want you. I want you come into a session not relaxed. I want you feeling your symptoms because we're going to go after those symptoms.
That's what you need to do is
Yeah.
get fixed. So,
Yeah.
you know, or you'll never get better. You know,
Yes.
you'll think you're better.
Yeah. It says, Jackie says, I was so healed from many things when I had a session, and I had a session at just the right time. No fear, just healing.
That's
Thank
it too.
you.
It's the divine timing has to be there.
Yeah. Can a person with on and off dementia be helped in a session? I need that person to be there. Dementia, people, people who are very old, people who are on a lot of drugs, mind-altering drugs, and people with dementia are not good candidates for hypnosis because hypnosis is like hyper focus. It really is. You're hyper focusing, and that's not a good one. Now, if somebody else wants to try it, that's fine. But I need you to be in a really good state of mind. Where you know what's going on. Look, everybody's now all of a sudden asking questions, which is great.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Prayers, yay.
No
Thank
drugs except medical. That's right. If someone comes to me high or something, they're not having a session. They're
No.
right back out the door, high or drunk or something.
Under the influence.
Can a 15-year-old have a session with parental permission? Maybe with somebody else, not with me. I have my rules, 18 or over. In fact, sometimes I want to make it like 30 or 40 or over because there's a lot of things that I could work on if you're older. You've experienced more, but no, I don't do any children unless, of course, they're like my own family, but not.
I want her to do Butters.
Poor Butters.
I like to find out what his
Butters
deal
was
is.
freaking out today. It was not very comfortable for Butters.
No, and he is always like right between my legs during any Reiki sessions. I mean, I've had a lot of, not a lot, but I've had some healers, some friends of mine come through, and we've had some sessions, and he's usually just staying right there on my legs. And he had to jump off the table a couple of times. It was too much for him. Then he started whining. He wanted to get back on because that's where he belonged. But it was too much energy.
The energy when I'm moving the energies with the tuning forks, it's really powerful. It's very strong.
Mhm.
I mean, like I said at the beginning, I get a little nauseous when I
Yeah,
start doing. I get a
yeah.
little queasy myself.
I'm kind of glad I ate something before
Because I'm moving a lot of energy in the room, and I could feel it. I'm sure you felt it too.
I definitely did. Yeah. I mean, I wanted to talk all the way through it, but I had to listen to this stuff, So, but lately I've been seeing this. I usually, if I close my eyes, I see it looks like purple clouds, dark purple clouds. I go right into this purple. But what are you looking for? Your water?
Yeah. Oh well.
I got mine.
I lost.
over
Oh, here it is.
Okay. So.
My mouth gets dry.
But lately, there's been, if there's a healing going on, like I was doing some quantum jumping before I went into the PET scan, here comes this green. It's like an olive green cloud. It's like clouds billowing, but they're all monochromatic, And it was this green, and I know that's healing energy coming at me, And today, right away,
you got it.
what was you? Did you do the tuning forks?
I was doing the tuning forks.
You did the chakra bowl first.
I did the singing bowl first.
Singing bowl.
Yeah, I usually have my whole set of singing bowls. I could only use one today.
Well, it was
2 of them actually.
I had one, but I never used it because I didn't know how to do it. I tried, and I was like, I think the strikers messed up or something. I got to get another or something. I didn't know what it was. She comes in, ding! I was like, oh well.
Someone says purple is Saint Germain energy, but you
Did
were
I kinda
you were
learn
looking
more
at
about
green.
It's usually purple whenever I go to meditate, and there's a lot of times like I meditate with my eyes open, and I'll just look at a solid, like I could look at the ceiling, and all of a sudden there's this purple goes on, and then everything gets dark around the edges. I mean, I could be in a sunny room, and all of a sudden it gets dark around the edges, and then a light comes at me, and then here comes the message, and it's always purple. But just lately, this green, this healing green energy comes at me, and so I saw that today, and I saw it right before that PET scan too. I was calm after that. What's this?
Someone says, is it usual for practitioners to become more psychic through facilitating sessions? I feel
think
way,
so.
way more connected since Absolutely.
I think you have. I
oh.
think you've really evolved in that.
Oh,
department.
absolutely. I mean, from when I
Being in
started to where I'm now,
Thank you.
it is really, really, I have become very, very psychic
Uh-huh.
to the point where it's just amazing what I could see while what's going on.
Mhm.
Even when I'm in everyday life, I could almost finish someone's sentence.
Mhm.
And, you know, before I do any hypnosis, part of my session is a lot of talking. And during that talking, I'm really doing a reading and
Mhm.
I'm doing a lot of channeling during the session. Sometimes I want to stop and I just can't. It just keeps coming.
Mhm.
And sometimes I'll just shock the people with what comes through because they don't expect that. In fact, just the other day, someone says, I wish you could have recorded this because this was just as good. And yeah, it is amazing how it just flows. So much is coming through, and I could see so much in a session. That's why I get wiped out, because I truly believe I'm bilocating.
Yes, you are.
And
She gets real synergistic with me. We're saying things at the same time. I'm finishing her question. I'm answering her question before it's out of her mouth good.
Yeah.
And sometimes we see the same thing at the same time.
Yeah.
That one in the hospital.
Yeah.
We both saw the same thing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So I don't know, and it's funny because I was just telling Sabrina a few days ago, I'll start talking to somebody when they come to see me, and I'll pull out somebody's name just for an example, and it'll be either the actual name of a family member or really, really close. So
and these are long shot names too. It's not like John.
No.
You know,
these are like strange names. So yeah, I'm becoming very psychic, and I think everybody is going to be doing this. But when you're in a state, you see, I don't meditate. I don't sit around and meditate like most people, you know, who should. But my sessions are my meditation. And I'm so deep into that. I'm so really deep. So I'm getting a lot of stuff. If I ever go into meditation, like if I'm going through a healing myself, it's bizarre. It's bizarre. The last healing session that I had on me, it was actually, I think it was a sound healing or something. I don't even remember. But I felt that if the woman did not grab my feet, I was going to levitate.
Yeah.
I was actually, my arms were actually levitating without me moving them. They were actually levitating, and I felt like my body was going to levitate off the bed. And she, at that moment, grabbed my feet, and I was like, oh, you know, thank you. Because I felt like I was really going to rise up from the table. So there's a lot of things that maybe it's fear that I get too advanced or something, but
yeah, I know that feeling. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I feel like maybe if I did too much meditation, things, really weird stuff would happen, because when I have a session done on me, a hypnosis session, it's really dramatic. I mean, I'm there. So yeah, I think I do kind of pull back on my spiritual gifts, because I think if I did full out,
I think we all could float.
Yeah.
I think we could all fly if we
yes.
just allowed ourselves to do it. Remember that game? Oh, she told me this story before about this lady grabbing her feet, and I was like, it was like that game, you know, light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather. Did y'all ever play that? Because, I mean, I did that at a couple of, like, I must have been, just, you know, middle school. And we would do this. Somebody goes, okay, somebody lays out flat on the floor, you know, and there's like 6 or 8 of us on, 4 on either side kind of thing. And you put 2 fingers, and everybody's going, it's like this mantra, and it gets to be this energy, you know, and it's like you're going stiff as a board, light as a feather, and all of a sudden somebody goes, lift her up, we're all going, like it's nothing. And I was like, how does that happen? You know?
They do that in hypnosis too.
Well, I had to be next, right? I was like, me next, you know, and I was stiff as a board, and I felt like they were going to throw me up, you know, because they lifted me so fast. I thought they were going to toss me, and And it's like, how does that happen? But I think we all have that in us, you know?
Valerie says, I noticed in yesterday's session you said you were right there with them, seeing what they see. Yeah,
She does.
yeah.
She does that.
I do. And the way I pose my question is for me to verify that what I'm seeing is really what's going on because I'm there.
The
I-
craft.
What is
That was a crazy. The craft. That was a witch, maybe.
Okay.
Listen, the solar flares, I'm going to change the subject, okay, from the craft to solar flares. You know, I am affected by celestial events, okay? I mean, especially the full moon, all right? And these solar flares are affecting tides and stuff just like the full moon does. And we've had this super moon and everything. And I mean, it really does a number on me. I have to really go, okay, it's this celestial event where the meteor showers are happening or any of this stuff. Now, the solar flares have affected the hell out of me. Headaches. I'm like, oh, what the hell is this? You know, it's not
Yeah.
all the drugs I'm taking, it's something else, you know.
Yeah.
And solar flares, I think, are affecting a lot of us with a lot of frustration. We're going back into our past and doing shadow work.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of shadow work, and then headaches and emotional roller coasters of all kinds, you know. But I know that a couple other people that don't even pay attention to this, a couple other of my friends were like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I got these headaches, and I'm like, hey, that's the solar flares. They all laugh at me because they go, you say solar flares for everything. I was like, yeah, you know. But it's true, you know, the solar flares affect us, people.
They do.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
so don't take it lightly. I mean, for real, there's been more giant solar flares coming off the sun lately than like
And the Schumann resonance.
the Schumann. I mean,
crazy.
there's stuff going on. Okay, so
Yeah.
of course we're going to be, if we're sensitives, we're going to be picking up on that. But yeah, you know, I get really weird. I'm like laughing one second, crying the next. I'm like, God, you know. But it's you know, you're trying to cope with it, so you over cope with it, you know. But yeah, with the full moon, I've moved my life around to know my limits on a full moon. Like when I was a chauffeur, I was telling her I wouldn't drive anything. I worked for 7 different companies as a freelance chauffeur for 5 years. And I tell them, don't call me on a full moon Friday. I will not get in a car and go out on the road on a full moon Friday. And people kind of scoff and laugh at it. I'm like, because that is the worst night ever to get out on the road and be driving other people around. Okay? And I got pregnant 3 times on a full moon. I gave birth twice and lost a baby, the middle one, on a full moon.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm really affected, you know, physically. So.
All right. Somebody says, do you see the client's guide shadows sometimes around the clients? No. No, I don't.
Oh.
I don't see stuff in my 3D eyes. No, I don't. Or whatever. I don't see that stuff. I think I've asked to not see that. Sabrina sees stuff, but I don't.
Yeah,
I don't see that.
all kinds
I
of weird
feel,
stuff.
but I don't see.
Well, when I'm doing mediumship, I see all kinds of things. You know, I mean, I'm being shown symbols, and the most difficult part of it is just stepping out of the way and just saying whatever comes through, because it doesn't make any sense to me anyway. Why should I try to analyze it? You know, when it's what they need to know.
Right.
And, you know, I'll see something, I'll go, that don't make any sense to me. I'll go, does number 82 mean anything to you? And they'd
just
be
comes.
like, oh yeah, that's, you know, Animal Planet channel. We used to watch Animal Planet. I'd say, put it on 82 or something, you know, like, what? So,
Jackie says, I think we're over the hump and now rolling down the roller coaster.
that's how it feels. We feel like something's coming fast, y'all.
Yeah. Somebody says here, between
Intestines
intestines.
and the colon.
Is that it?
Well, I don't know. I think that's where the cecum is.
Ileocecal valve. I don't know how to even say it.
Ileocecal valve.
That could be it. I don't know.
I don't know, but they've been all through it, and they say they don't see anything, but then something shows up, lighting up on the darn. You gave birth on the PET scan. So we're gonna have to look into this layered intelligence forming energies. That's basically what you're dealing with, Albos.
What is that?
Layered
For all of
intelligence.
you, For all of you interested in your astrological data, the Hindu book of astrology is the most accurate for the gems and astral colors. I'm an Aquarius. My astral colors are blue, green, and pink. My stones are sapphires, turquoise, and opal. That's very nice. Those are pretty ones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, blessings.
I
from
just got a
Tennessee.
new wand, and it's powerful.
Show them the wand.
And it told me, she told me what her name was. Tell them the story.
This is amazing. So Sabrina and I went to Casadega, which is here. It's north of Orlando, and it's a whole community of just
It's a
mediums,
spiritual collective,
psychics,
yeah.
everything. And she went into this gift shop there, and this is what she saw.
Okay, I was just going around looking. I was just kind of wasting time because she had a longer session than mine. Mine was kind of a day.
Where I almost floated off.
Yeah. So she was having this great experience, and I'm like, dee. Mine was kind of dumb. And so I go to this little bookstore, right? And they had all kinds of crystals and things like that. And I was looking at this most beautiful, regal-looking wand, and it had this long handle on it. It was amethyst. It was a beautiful cut and everything. It's very regal. It was like, oh, this is what a queen would use. And then I walked past this one case, and I was like, what's that? What's that right there? And the girl was like, yeah, that's special, blah blah blah. And I was like, man, that thing is like, it's like talking to me kind of thing. And I pick it up. Okay, now this is it. Look at this. Watch me drop it. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Can you see it? Look at the bevel on this crystal. Is that something? And then it's got the crystal rose quartz coming out the side. And this is a spirit quartz or a fairy crystal. It's got a bunch of little nubbies on it. Okay. Well, I immediately knew how to hold it with my thumb on here. They handed it to me, and all of a sudden I got charged. I'm getting charged up right now just holding it. There's so much energy coming off this thing. And it's like, so I'm getting chills. I get chills like head to toe when I pick this thing up.
And
I touch this.
And I get like
Serious energy.
I get like a kind of
almost nausea.
It's like almost a nauseous feeling.
It's so much power. And the first thing I did was like, oh God, I'm just getting chills like crazy. God, head to toe, man. But the second my thumb hits that gem right there,
Yeah.
I mean, power up, okay? And I saw the purple cloud go from the end of this thing up my arm. And this girl's standing next to me. I'm like, you're not seeing this, are you? And she goes, that purple cloud going up your arm. And then all of a sudden, little hair-like electrical, like little tiny lightning bolts were coming off of this. And I was like, I gotta lay this thing down. That's a lot of power.
It's strong because I'm feeling nauseous.
I mean, it's
being
serious.
next to it.
And she was like, I can't pick it up for a while, for very long because of the power in it. And I mean, I was laying it down and I could get about this far off of it and feel the heat, okay? And I was like, man, this thing is crazy. And I was like, oh, it's too expensive. I'm just gonna. And this girl said, this is for you. It's yours. You know, she says, nobody could handle the power that's coming off of it. Like
it's strong. It's very, very strong.
And I'm like, yeah, but I dig it, you know. So, but she put it in a drawer for me, and it sat there for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So
So
I
Valerie
don't want
wants.
to point it at your thing.
Valerie, yeah, she destroys equipment. Did you get any history on the wand? The quartz peak is awesome.
Yeah. Well, this one girl makes some, and this is from this. Is very rare, this crystal here, and it comes from South Africa, okay?
Somebody's on here from South Africa, I believe.
Oh, I gotta put it down. I'm starting to get nauseous.
Yeah, I feel
But anyway,
nauseous
so
too. It's almost like my ears are buzzing.
when
And I'm feeling,
yeah, it's serious. I keep it in a cabinet. But anyway, so I gotta put this down. I feel like it was I'm already kind of nauseous. But anyway, so on the way home, just tell them, Alan.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so on
You-
the way
you do the
home,
good stories.
I'm talking to Alba about this wand. I was like, now listen, I've been around a lot of energies. I mean, like, I've touched the pyramids and, this, that, touched walls that talked to me and Peru and all
I
that.
did that too.
Yeah, we all had. That's
we
a
all-
whole other story.
Yeah,
That's
we
another
all
thing.
touched walls and
Whoa!
saw
So
things.
anyway, I was like, I've touched a lot of powerful, energetic things, but this thing, it just blew me away. You still kind of feel it?
Yeah, I still feel kind of like.
Ugh, I mean, it's a lot of power.
Mm-hmm.
So, excuse me. So I have to learn, but I've been kind of doing it on myself a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
So, excuse me. I said I was driving home and I was talking to her about that, and all of a sudden, I heard Agatha, and I was like, well, I think it just told me its name, because I mean,
Yeah.
Agatha just comes out of the blue, and I looked up the name Agatha, and it means good, and I was like, okay, I'll take it,
Mm-hmm.
So
And that's your other name for God.
yeah, God is, God,
Mm.
God is short for good. Is what I
Yeah.
always say, is like, God is short for good.
There's other questions here. My left hand, feminine, is buzzing, vibrating with an amazing energy, beautiful energy crystals. Okay.
Yeah,
Sun drops, Alba, I removed you.
I've had sessions where people are the scepters.
I don't know
What does
what
that
that
mean?
means. Do you recommend any crystals that can help during a session to enhance or deepen the connection? No. I mean, everybody is different, and it's you who has to let yourself go.
Yeah, I'm in South Africa. What's it called? It's called the spirit crystal, and in some places it's called a fairy crystal.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a spirit crystal. I mean, it's a gorgeous crystal.
Yeah. I think most star seeds on Gaia are Pleiadians. What do you think, Alba? That's not my.
I'm from Sirius.
Yeah. I think I have Arcturian.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
when recently, the lineup, that goes where the constellation, the Orion's belt, when it lines up with the pyramids of Giza, that one little tail is Sirius. Okay, now that has a couple of like planets off of that star, and I think it's called Sirius A and B or something like that.
Oh yes, that's right.
And I'm from one of those places when
Mhm.
when I'm Ananda. I'm a fractal of Ananda. That's been in a few sessions.
Right.
And
So if someone says, ask about it when you channel, it may have been something you had previously. Then someone
fairy finger, aka spirit quartz, was that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think everybody has a little piece of everything,
Yeah.
to tell you the truth.
We're all kind of mutts down here, whether we
Yeah.
think we're pure blood or not.
No, I think,
know?
Yeah.
Because you think you're one thing, and then you find out you're something else.
That's right.
Because I thought I was French and Indian, come to find out there was Dutch in there.
And you all heard that story in one of her sessions. So, yeah. So what do you think? You're going to wrap it up?
Yeah,
I think we should
so.
wrap it up. You need to get...
I need to lay down.
Yeah, she's getting
I picked
tired.
up Agatha and I was already feeling kind
Yeah.
of puny, and now I'm like, oh, God, get a bit. Gotta go have a cracker or something.
Yeah. But thank you all for watching. There's been a lot of people here. I've got 115 watching now. So
Oh, wow.
thank you all for that. Like I said, I'm going to put the GoFundMe on the description of this
Oh.
video, so that if you want to help Sabrina out with her expenses, we could do that.
Yeah, it's kind of piling up there.
Yeah. And
I appreciate it. I mean, I feel kind of ashamed. I feel like I should be more on it than I am, But I mean, I've had to learn to go, that's just going to have to wait.
Yeah, I think that's part of learning to be, to just be authentic and tell people the truth.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're getting into right now, is that we need to really be as authentic as we can.
Yes.
And
follow your heart.
Follow the heart.
Yeah.
So thank you all for watching.
Thanks again for all the love and prayers, y'all. It means so much to me. It means the world to me.
Yeah.
You're saving my life, literally.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Makes me want to cry.
And we'll see. I'll let you guys know if some of you want to go to the class. Please do so. The workshop is also fantastic. We still have a seat or two left. I don't keep track of that. That's Antonio's thing. So I hope I get to meet you in the Netherlands in October. So much love to you, and I'm going to see how it is that we shut this thing off.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.